Would you consider this art? Would you consider this art? How about this? In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the rise of AI art and what actually is art and what we may be consuming, buying, trading, flipping on in the future. Now, the reason behind this video is one of my boys, Rybread, he was actually playing around with some AI art and he came up with some really cool, interesting images. So he kind of put in a whole bunch of different sort of words and prompts, and it ended up coming up with this artwork. And I think it looks very cool, very interesting. And we got into a bit of a dialogue on Twitter about it. And then this is where this video has come from. The idea is that back in the day, people would have considered an artist someone that takes sort of pen to paper, that takes paint to canvas, just like this Basquiat, to actually create a piece of artwork. And in the recent era, we've had people with sort of pens and tablets essentially create digital art. The same kind of techniques that these traditional artists would use, but creating pieces of art. And then with the rise of NFT and NFT art, we've had a situation where an artist will create a series of traits, and then you'll have a machine generate the images, just like one of the most famous ones, Bored Ape Yacht Club, where they generated 10,000 images. Now, what I want to kind of bring about here is the food for thought, the thought process, the kind of idea that what is an artist? What does an artist actually do? And what is the art that comes out of the back? With the rise of AI art, we've got the ability for people to not just use the sort of their hands or their skills or the techniques of a particular software, but just use words to create images and let a machine decide what that art is. And then if you head onto websites, Twitter, TikTok, things like that, you end up with images like this that have been created directly through AI with last selfie ever taken. And what the sort of algorithm's done is it's gone through and picked up all of the different post-apocalyptic images that it knows and puts together for the last selfie ever taken. So something that I want to touch on here is what is the art that actually comes out of the back end, because an AI can create this art, but what is the artist? What will we see in the future? Now, when you have a look at this, this is Fidenza by Tyler Hobbs. Now, the way that this has been put together is Tyler Hobbs has essentially programmed to actually make these pieces. He hasn't created in every individual element to then go through and kind of randomly generate them. What has happened is this is some coding. This is some serious sort of work that's gone into it, so that when the sort of minter mints on the blockchain, this is actually created using different algorithms. So where a piece like a Fidenza is, and why I can see AI art being used in the future and still holding some value, is the fact that Fidenza by Tyler Hobbs is sitting at a 99.99 ETH floor. This is crazy huge, crazy massive. And the idea that Tyler Hobbs has a name for himself, he has done some very good pieces in the art world, and this is why it can hold a level like this. But the fact is, this work isn't seen as traditional as you would expect when it comes to sort of fine art or high-end art, and the idea that some coding and some mechanisms have gone in. And does this take away from Tyler Hobbs and his ability to be called an artist because he didn't put pen to paper, because he didn't put sort of brush to canvas? I don't think so. I think art is the manifestation of what the artist actually does. It doesn't matter if it's in the real world, something like this, where an artist has taken some paint, taken the canvas, and then kicked it off and let sort of gravity do the work when it comes to creating the art. It doesn't matter if the artist is using a digital pen to create different traits to then let something generate, or if the artist is creating code. In the future, I can see artists using AI to kind of play around and experiment, to throw in different words and different sort of iterations to bring out interesting and unique pieces that you may not have seen before. And to show you just how simple it is, I actually jumped into an AI creator, YouTuber sitting in bedroom, making video, blue lights, bandana. And then here are some other iterations that I've come up with. And the idea is that you may look at something like this and go, hey, this is art. You may look at this and say, hey, this is not art. But the idea is that with an artist, They're taking something, they're taking some inspiration, they are putting it through either their hands onto some canvas, they're either putting it through a computer to then generate some traits, or I do believe in the future they will put it through an AI engine to actually generate some art, and it will come down to the actual artists themselves, because someone creating 1 or 2 AI pieces may not be enough, but if someone sticks at it and they make sort of 1 piece every single day for 10 years straight, then they may be considered an artist because they've got a heavy back catalog. So what is this video, and why did I want to bring this to your attention? I wanted to kind of give you something to think about, something to dwell on. When we look at art, it's a very personal thing. We can either like it or we can not like it. We can then sort of be perplexed why something may hold a $100,000 flaw, or we may be sort of confused why something that looks beautiful in our eyes may be sitting at a $2 flaw. The idea is that art in itself is in the eye of the beholder, but the artist itself is changing. What an artist is changing, and we shouldn't be held to idealistic ideas when it comes down to what art is, because we will miss some opportunities moving forward. We will have this big expansion and evolution of the artist that does not know how to paint, does not know how to use Photoshop, does not know how to code, but knows how to manipulate an AI algorithm to actually kind of get what is in their head onto a screen for us to consume. And I think this is a very interesting time to be alive. I think this is something you should play around with, something you should explore, because especially in the NFT space, there are going to be some opportunities for us to actually take advantage. The idea here with Last Selfie on Earth, you can see some previews here of what they are. With these types of things, I can totally see a collection being put together by an artist, iterations generated, and it could actually pop off with a very good, well curated AI collection. And yes, I know there's going to be some comments below saying, hey, this artist has already done it, hey, this artist has already done this thing. Until we see something that holds a sort of a 4/5/8 flaw, I don't really think it is successful and hit the mainstream and hit the zeitgeist of what AI art would be. So yes, this is a bit of a different kind of video. If you found value in this video, please consider hitting up that subscribe button. And while you're down there, also hit up the like button. As always, it's been a pleasure having you with me. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.